Okay, in this video we're going to take a look at how we can make a simple shooting mechanic in Godot where the bullets will go in the direction of the mouse. So first of all, I'm going to start by making two folders, one for my scenes, one folder for my scenes, and one folder for my scripts. Okay, then I'm going to make my world. So let me rename this to world, hit save, and let me put this inside of my scenes. Then let me make my player, which is going to be a character body 2D. Rename this to player. Let me add a sprite 2D, and let me just drag in the icon over here. Okay, let me move this up a tiny bit here and hit save inside the world here. Then I'm going to click on player, and then I'm going to add a script to it. Okay, so add a script. It's going to be an empty script, and let's save this one inside of scripts. Okay, hit create. Okay, and I want to have some movement, so let me make a variable for the speed. Speed is going to be 500, and then inside of my physics process I'm going to use the move and slide function, and what I'm going to do is velocity.x. this is going to be equal to, and hold on, just above this let me get the direction, so var direction, and this is going to be input dot get axis, and then I'm going to use left and I'm going to use right. Okay, so this is what I've already set up, and then velocity.x is just going to be speed times direction. Yeah, okay, let me hit save. Let me go back to the world here in 2D. Let me drag the player here, so I'm gonna go player, and let me put the player somewhere on the map. Okay, hit save, and let me run the scene with F5, or I can go up here and run the scene. And we can see I can move the player left and right. Okay, now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create my bullet. Okay, so let me open a new tab, and this one is going to be an area 2D. Okay, let me rename this to bullet, and let me add a sprite, and this one I'm also going to add the icon as the sprite, but let me change the scale. Okay, so instead of 1 I'm going to put it at 0.2. okay, 0.2. let me zoom in here and let me move this up here. Okay, and let me hit save. Okay, so bullet is going to be in scenes, and let me click on bullet and let me attach a script. Okay, so the bullet can move, and this one is going to be inside of scripts. Okay, and create that. I can get rid of the ready function, I don't need this. And for now let's create a speed for the bullet. The speed can be 700, and for now let's just have the bullet move up. So position.y minus equals speed times delta. Okay, and let me hit save. Let me go back to 2D, let me go to the world, and let me just bring the bullet in here for now just to see how it acts. So I'm going to get the bullet and let me put it here. I'm going to hit save, and let me run the game with F5. Okay, and as you can see the bullet just goes up. Okay, so let me close the game, let me remove the bullet. Okay, and now what I want is I want to get the bullet when the player presses shoot. Okay, so I'm going to go to script, I'm going to go back to player, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have another function which I'm going to run. So I'm going to do if input is action just pressed shoot, and if the shoot button is pressed then I want to run a function called shoot. So let me make this shoot function here. Okay, so func shoot, and for now what I want to do is let me just print shoot. Okay, so let me hit save, F5, and let me press the game, and then when I click on my mouse, as you can see right here, we are getting shoot. Okay, so let me close this. So what I really want is I want the bullet scene to be instantiated. So let me get a reference let me get a reference to our bullet scene. So on ready var bullet scene, and I'm going to preload the bullet scene. Okay, so once someone presses shoot, instead of just printing shoot, what I actually want is, let me say var bullet is equal to bullet scene dot instantiate. Okay, and then I want to set the position. Let me set the bullet's position, bullet dot position. I'm going to set it to just the position of the player, which is just position. Okay, so bullet dot position is position, and this is the position of the player. Then I need to add this to the scene, but instead of the player scene, I want to add it to the world scene. Okay, so the world scene is going to be get parent, and then I'm going to run dot add child. Okay, I want to add the bullet, and let me hit save. Okay, and let me run the game again. So hit F5, and now when I click, you can see a bullet goes and just goes up. Okay, wherever the player is. Okay, so let me close this down. Now what I want is, instead of going straight up, I want the bullet to go in the direction of the mouse. So let me go back to the bullet script, and instead of changing the Y value, what I also want is, I want a variable which is going to hold the direction of the bullet. So let me call this var bullet direction. And instead of just changing the Y, what I want is, let me comment this out, I want to change the position by also multiplying it by the bullet direction. Okay, so let me hit save, and let me go back to the player script. Now we need to add the bullet direction here. So the bullet direct, so the bullet dot, and what did I call it again? I called it the bullet direction. So the bullet dot bullet direction is going to be the position minus the mouse position. Okay, so get global mouse position, and let's normalize this. So I'm going to wrap this in brackets and get normalized. Okay, and let me hit save, and let me press play. And now the bullet fires in the direction of the mouse.